Well, welcome to My Toy Life. This week, we hope you will have a good time, just like we've been having in the last few weeks. Things are getting kind of heated up. We got Thanksgiving coming, we got Christmas coming, and everybody gets busy. I get busy, you get busy. So this week I couldn't go live. I had to record it. So please forgive me, but I still hope that you'll enjoy. Please subscribe, like it, share it, comment, say something. I know it won't be a live comment, but please just say it. And if you have some things you want to talk to me about, just send me a message, some criticism or some comments, or maybe how to make the show even better. One of the things I want to do is thank Paul Knapp for encouraging us to do this. More of us that are collecting and enjoying this hobby, getting out there and building the hobby and telling people about it. So tonight we have a guest, one of my friends, Mike, that I met while collecting. So I'm going to bring him on, and make sure you like, share, and follow and comment. Okay, subscribe. And here comes Mike. All right. Welcome, Mike.
Hi, how you doing, Pastor?
I'm doing great. And loving this weather. Is it cold where you are?
No, it's just starting to get cool.
Okay.
We've had a great summer, not too hot, and now it's starting to get a little cooler. We generally have snow about Halloween, and we didn't have any yet, but we're expecting some next week.
Oh, okay. Well, Halloween, whenever it's in the middle of the week like that, it's always kind of odd anyway, but
well, for us in Nevada, it's awful odd anyway, because we celebrate Nevada Day. Nevada was accepted into the Union on October 31st.
Oh my goodness.
So we celebrate Nevada Day.
Well, that's fun too.
You bet.
I was reading what somebody said the other day about Halloween. He said he always tried to find a way to disguise himself to go back to the houses with a good candy twice.
I heard a story today where some lady said she was handing out full-size candy bars, and she handed them out to the first kids, and she heard all of a sudden a bunch of yelling down the street going, "They got full-size candy bars, come here."
Now everybody's heading to her house, boy, for sure.
You betcha.
Oh my goodness. Well, tell us about how you got into collecting, bro.
Well, I tell you, as a young kid, my cousin and I, we played GI Joes all the time.
Right.
And we kind of went to the swap meet a lot, because back then you could pick up a Joe for $1, and it was pretty easy. And not only that, but the ones you could get at the store were the adventure team, and they weren't as much fun.
Right.
So we were always at the swap meet looking for the military stuff.
Right.
And I remember one day telling my cousin, someday I'm going to have every GI Joe they make.
Oh my goodness.
I will tell you, I don't, but I got about 1,000 of them.
You got a what?
I got about 1,000 of them.
1,000 of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think all of us have about 1,000 or more.
Yeah.
And I stopped counting. I don't even count anymore.
Yeah.
But see, I was in California about when when GI Joe came out, and we didn't ever buy any of them. My dad would not buy one single Joe, and of course, that's just the way it is. But I played with all the kids in the neighborhood. They all had Joes, so I played with them, and they always gave me the ones that had the broken fingers or had one of their eyes poked out by some battlefield, injury. So I got used to playing with the broken Joes, and now I fix them. I fix arms, legs, I fix them. So
yeah, but I think that's great. I was fortunate. Both my aunt and my grandmother, they collected dolls.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
So always had boxes of GI Joe stuff. So you'd go over to their house and be like, can I look through your GI Joe stuff?
Right, 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 right. Well, what is your favorite figure if you have one, or do you have a favorite era or anything like that?
I've got I like I kind of they all have their own little take on them, their own little part of them. But I
Mhm.
really enjoy the ones that don't have rules. I
Okay,
like the fantasy guys.
okay,
Because no one's going to come to you and say, that doesn't have the right amount of rivets on the belt.
right, right,
It's there's no rules. And so I
right.
kind of like those a lot better. They're a lot funner to do.
Yes.
And and they're more unique, I think.
Right, right. Well, you see, my Scottish guy over there, I've had a couple of people tell me that I didn't have the kilt on right, and I didn't this and I
Yeah.
didn't that. And I said, well, he's not from Scotland, he's from outer space.
Well, Terry, but I had the same way with what people were telling me. My issue, my collection is a playset.
Yes.
It was something, I thought I'd have a son, and I'd have something to do in the backyard with him. I had
Right.
3 daughters, you
Oh
know,
my.
yeah, so basically, the only thing that would occur is my tank might show up at their Barbie village, but
Right,
but it was not as didn't have the sun where it was like, hey, let's go play.
right, right.
And so my collection, it's not a lot of different type of uniforms, but a lot of units, of anywhere from 8 to 30 guys.
Yeah. So do you have spacemen, or do you just have, like, for instance, fantasy westerns or fantasy Middle Ages, or what age of fantasy are you into? Sci-fi or what?
Well, I'll tell you, I like the Lord of the Rings stuff, but
Okay.
but but I was fortunate, as when I first started, when GI Joe was first starting to come back,
Hmm.
was fortunate enough to hook up with the NorCal GI Joe Club,
Okay.
and they had just so many customizers in their
Yes.
club.
Yes.
Fred Jessica, Dave Rogers, Derek Tech, Rob Humphrey, Rex Adams, just great guys.
Oh, Rex
You know,
is a good guy. I
Rex
love Rex.
Rex is excellent. And
Yes, he
and
is.
but I mean, it was, if you needed something, one of those guys could tell you how to do it or would give you an idea. And
Right.
what that taught me was cool because it taught me to think in 1/6. You
Yeah,
know, when I walk through a store, it's like I'm
that's
thinking
right.
in one
I'm
six.
looking for something all the time.
Yep.
I go to the Dollar General, or I go to the Dollar Tree, and I'm looking for stuff that might fit into. Yeah,
Yep.
I
And,
saw somebody had the other day. They had a spider that had a light in it, and I'm going to try to find that. He told me where he got it, but it had a green light in it, and so the spider looks like he's glowing, and it looks cool.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yep. But it was fun with the NorCal Club, Terry, because
yeah,
they would have things like, hey, we're going to do a contest on, fantasy figures,
yeah,
or we're going to do steampunks, or we're going to do pirates, or we're
yeah.
going to do cowboys. And so, those got, you'd start running on those, and pretty soon you had extra stuff, and we're doing extra guys.
Right,
And so
right.
just a lot of fun to put them together.
It was, I'm sure. Well, this is changing the subject a little bit, but Rex, are you a member of Flash Force? Because Rex was in Flash Force at one time.
No, I didn't do much other than the NorCal Club.
Okay. Okay.
That was because that was a monthly meeting. You could hang out,
Yeah.
and
Did you ever
everybody was showing
hear
up
did
for
you ever
stuff.
hear of Flash Force?
No,
Never heard of it? Well, there
no.
was there was evidently a guy, his name was Teddy, and he went around recruiting GI Joe guys to put together a military unit, and they would be called Flash Force,
Uh-huh.
and one would be a part of his big overall unit. And one year they met at one of the toy shows, and they brought all their figures together, and they had a big display of Flash Force, and Rex was involved with some of the guys, and they built a Black Hawk
Oh,
helicopter out of
oh,
cardboard, full
yeah.
size, for GI Joe.
I saw the Black Hawk. I saw the Black
Yeah,
Hawk. The Black
yeah,
Hawk was awesome.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was Flash Force that did that, and it was interesting. I like doing that kind of stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
How are you
I,
progressing with your wagon that I
I tell
that
you, Terry,
I pawned off on you?
Yeah, no, I tell you, it's excellent, and I appreciate the help getting the harness, put together. I've
Mhm.
got a good horse now, and now, it's interesting because I want to paint it, and I'm a rattle can guy, so I've got to go to my nephew's who has an airbrush that's going
Okay.
to be a little bit better because it's got that fabric,
Right.
cushion,
Right.
But I'm looking forward to getting that done. That's going to be for my well, I'll show you who it's for.
Okay. Okay.
It's going to be for my English constable, my
Oh
English
my
investigator.
goodness. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. Did you
so
create him too?
you betcha.
Awesome. Awesome, brother. That is really outstanding.
It's sure, like I said, but it sure is nice to hang around creative people. And we got in this hobby, there are so many good people.
Yes, there
Uh,
are.
I don't think well, maybe here or there, but 99% of them are just good, thinking, wanting to do good things,
Right. Right.
having fun.
Just like the
You know,
guy that made you the harness, Tommy. I can call Tommy up. He just now finished making me uh, a rig from one of my donkeys. So
oh,
so I can put this on my donkey and I can, now attach things to the back of the rig. Whereas before, I was just trying to rubber band them on.
well, I gotta, that's with the club, the NorCal club, Ed Kassar, the guy that does Intense.
Uh-huh.
He does my saddles and my harnesses. He did two of my pack mule saddles for my.
Really?
Yeah, he was awesome. He's excellent.
Well, I'd like to see the pack mules harness sometime. Maybe you can shoot me a picture of it.
Well, can I grab it real quick? I'll show you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We got time.
Yeah.
That's what I love about collecting, is that we learn from each other and there's always something new. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That
this was for my 333rd, African American Artillery Unit, and I
yeah.
had a couple of these donkeys,
Uh-huh.
but I might have him haul the ammunition, and he did the pack saddles for me.
Oh my, that is outstanding. I love that. I
Well,
love it.
I'll tell you, Terry, it's in my collection. I've got a lot of just different unique things that I
Right,
love. You know,
right. Well, I learned a word a few years ago when I was studying psychology. It's called eclectic.
uh-huh.
And apparently that means, and somebody will probably send me a message and correct me, but apparently that means just whatever is your fancy, whatever suits you, you're just eclectic.
Yeah.
And if somebody, was to look at my collection, that's what they'd say. They'd say, it's all over the place.
Well, I think mine too. They all look similar,
Mm-hmm.
because I primarily use dragon figures,
Okay.
so they're all about the same,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're all, but they're not. You really couldn't find a figure going, oh, I've seen that one sold, because
Right.
I'm kind of a kit basher. I like these boots with this uniform, but I like this helmet with that, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so it's a whole lot more fun, I think, to do it that way where they're mine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because you designed it and you created it, and that makes it unique. And that's to me, that's what makes the hobby so grand, is that we're
Well,
all able to do that. We're all able to have a blast.
I'm just waiting for someone to get their backyard together and I'll head over.
Well, I missed before COVID, I missed something that I really was hoping to go to, but something happened on that day. There was about 10 guys in Atlanta that were going to meet at Lake Lanier, and they were going to do an entire invasion and
Oh,
repelling the attack. And
oh,
so they
wow.
did that, and they posted like almost 200 pictures of that day. And it would have just been so much fun to take my stuff.
Yeah.
Now, me and my son and my grandsons, we all got together one day and did a big battle scene, and it was awesome, but it was also exhausting,
Yep.
up and down,
Yep.
putting
Yep.
this here,
Yep.
putting this in. But we had a blast. We had a
Well,
blast.
well, then as soon as you get them all set up, one falls over.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I learned a little trick that sometimes works, is you take coat hangers and you cut them about that high,
Yeah.
and then you stick them in the ground right next to the guy and put it up his pants leg.
Yeah, that's a great trick. Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've learned to do, but it doesn't always work. I
Yeah.
had one guy that I did that too, and so he fell over backwards where he bent at his knees. So he looked like he looked like he was standing up, but he was falling down at the same time. It looked weird.
But I'll tell you, that I think that's what the other thing we have in this hobby is a lot of problem solvers.
Yeah,
Trying to find a way to do something you want to do.
Well, that's what makes it all unique too. That's what makes it all unique. Well,
Oh,
you want
yeah.
to show us the two figures that you're working on that you haven't got the
You
head
bet.
in yet?
Yeah, you bet. And can you see those okay?
Not, they're still a little blurry.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me back up
All
a
right.
little.
Still a little blurry.
Let's see. Can you tell me if they get any better?
Nope, not yet.
Blurry. Why are they blurry? I don't understand that. Well, let me see if I can do it this way. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
So these are two that I'm working on. Like I said, they're more fantasy, but can you see him okay?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So
What?
this one came about, and Ed helped me with the sword. He's a great swordsmith. And but I was reading about the Phantom because I had what was one of the only Captain Action figures I had as a kid was the Phantom.
Okay.
Didn't know much about him, thought he was cool, had the Colt 45 and had the sniper rifle and the knife and the brass knuckles, all the good stuff, but didn't know much about him.
Right.
So I was reading this story, and the story kind of goes about him being, immortal, but it comes back that the Phantom goes from father to son, and it's been going on since 1536 with him fighting pirates.
Okay.
And so it was pirates. And so I went, well, I think I'll do a Phantom about 1540, about 1640.
Okay.
And that. So that's this one, him. And so he's kind of got just fun, but the pieces all kind of came together.
Mm-hmm.
And his counterpart I'm working on now.
This going to be the bad guy?
He's, well, I like stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not only the bad guy, but he helps him at times too. He's just from
okay.
France.
Okay.
So the Phantom's going to be from Skull Cave, England originally. He's from France. Don't necessarily like each other, but they both hate pirates.
Okay, so they work together sometimes.
Sometimes.
You say you don't have his head yet. It's coming in soon.
God, I found this great French head.
Okay.
Where he looks like one eye kind of slashed out. So, for him, and he's got that French, look about him like, yeah, I'm better than you are. So it's just going to make a whole, just a great, piece and a great addition to this. And I'm looking forward to that showing up.
That'll make it awesome. Well, you don't have a website, or you don't have a place where you show your figures except on Facebook?
Yeah, no, I will tell you, I've really just been part of a lot of the Facebook pages over about the last 3 or 4 years. And it's given me a place to show things.
Mm-hmm.
My collection, I maybe only have shared it with maybe about 20, 25 people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sees it, they love it. But it wasn't anything that I ever went out and said, oh, you got to see this.
Yeah.
It's a happy place.
Yeah, it is your happy place. Well, that's exciting. Well, I sure do thank you for joining us. And after you get those two made, what do you have in line for next to make after that?
I've got a couple. I've got a Russian female doctor that I'm working on for World War II. That in my Russians are the least I have. I only have about 63 Russians, but I'm going to add her, so she'll be good. And waiting for her to show up. And any of you guys that are looking for pieces, try Zhukov's Attic. It's awesome.
I never heard of it.
You got to try it, Terry. That they have
Zhukov.
It's
Zhukovs. Okay.
But you can find almost anything you're looking for, there. And so it's one of those places where I go and if I'm looking for something, I can generally find it there. And John's real good about helping out.
Well, I was telling somebody the other day about Monkey Depot, and he didn't even know about Monkey Depot. I bought a lot of stuff from them. I think some of my favorite figures that I found was the Corps of Discovery, which was, Lewis and Clark.
Oh yeah.
I really thought that they did a good job. It's sad that they just didn't make enough money to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But I was able to acquire, I think, 5 of their figures, and then the Dog Soldier guy, who made all the Indians and made the Buffalo Soldier. I love all those things. Just love
Well,
them all.
do you remember though back then? I mean, right there about the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, you had all kinds of guys out there going,
Oh,
"Hey, look what,"
yeah, yeah,
you know, and having 21st century toys come out was awesome.
yeah,
Only because like crud, you could pick up a uniform for $10.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And it was all
I just
good
talked
stuff.
to somebody last night, and he said, he went to Toy Atlanta, and he had one of the police helicopters,
Oh gosh, yeah.
and he said, but nobody bought it. Nobody bought it. And he said, I was surprised that I brought that home. I thought, sure, somebody would snap it up. I'm trying to convince him to let me sell it for him, but
Yeah.
he's one of those guys that don't like to ship.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm surprised too. Like I've got one of the military helicopters they did, but that was a great piece. And 21st Century did some great vehicles.
Great vehicles. Well, I thank you for joining us, and I pray that you have a good evening and keep having fun, man. That's what it's all about. Keep creating and share the hobby with as many as you can. About your Phantom, are you going to do anything about the Phantom ring?
That's a good thought. I probably will. I probably need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Horse is wolf, so
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
again, thank y'all. Thank everybody for joining us. Listen, please like, share, and comment. Share this with your friends. And next week, I'm going to have a really, really special person. My own son is going to come on and talk about his collection. And you just don't want to miss it. So thank you for joining us, and have a good evening. And remember, toys are fun.
yes, they
Bye.
are. Pastor. Bye-bye.